welcome to Mind Over Matter for March 10th, 2016. Um, my name is Jamie. Today's Mind Over Matter topic is the comfort zone. I was trying to find a clever way to put that, but really it's the comfort zone. I think that many of us struggle with new things, and it's because of that comfort zone that I mentioned. I try to relate my Mind Over Matter topic as closely to something that would help and motivate and propel our GOF members into a space where they accomplish more, go further faster, and find their way through the muck of internet marketing. It can be a little bit of a daunting task to become an internet marketer if you're not familiar with some of these skills. And I think when I pour over the different comments and questions and concerns and there's a lot of fear that's involved. The most common, without question, the most common conversation that's had in the Facebook group specifically is, I've been involved for X amount of time and I haven't been able to do anything. I don't know what to do. And in some variation of that, I don't know how to start. I'm brand new. I don't know what I'm supposed to do first. The list goes on, and it's all that. But let's be clear. We have 2 training sessions a week. When you first arrive at the Global Online Franchise, when you log in, you land on the page called Getting Started. On that page, it tells you what to do. And each subsequent page tells you how to make it through that page. And you end up on the marketing page, which has some of the best training that you'll find anywhere, because it's broken down to the barest bones minimum. It's not dressed up or fancy. It's just bare bones training. Where to get started, how to get started, what to do. And if that's still confusing, again, we have webinars twice a week to walk you through all these parts. In the Facebook group, there are 5 or 8 threads created with those chalkboard headings that are full of information about how to start, where to start, what to get doing, what's on your agenda. So, and we battle with this all the time as coaches, teachers, trainers, people who are trying to facilitate GOF as something that people can use. And we have success story after success story after success story of people who have accomplished some pretty awesome stuff using the GOF training. So I challenged myself to wonder, okay, so what is the deal here? And recently I went through my own comfort zone issue. I had the opportunity to speak in front of 30 or so people, 20 to 30 people. And there are people that I knew and people that I respected. And so I was very, very nervous. I struggled with not sure if my material was good, if I was going to make all the points I needed to make, if I was going to drive home the message, just on and on and on. And of course, this is a skill that I'm currently working on and developing. And then it kind of dawned on me. You hear all this talk about comfort zone. You got to step outside your comfort zone and blah, blah, blah. First, we need to figure out what the comfort zone is. And I think that's where the challenge lies and where most people are losing sight of what's going on. I mean, the comfort zone is simply a place where you have a skill set that you already know how to use and you use it. That outside the comfort zone is a space where you're about to do something that you've never done before, or something you're not very good at. forcing you to go through a wide range of emotions as to how you're going to get it done, what you're going to do, is it going to be good enough, can I do it, blah, blah, blah. Whether you identify that or you actually critically think about it is another thing. So when someone writes the message that, I've been involved with GOF for over a week and I haven't even got started because I don't know what to do, I know beyond any shadow of a doubt that they are the only person in their way at this point. Their mindset has created an environment where getting out of their comfort zone almost isn't possible. And until they address that situation, they will not have success with GOF or anything else. Because as I've said 100 times, no matter what we train you in GOF, no matter how hard we try and make the training simple and easy, until your mindset is correct, you're dead in the water. You won't move anywhere. I mean, one of the most, I'll use the word frustrating, although I don't know what accurately describes it, but one of the most frustrating things for me, because I guess I don't really find it frustrating, but is that the numbers of people who are registered for webinars, for all the webinars, is shocking to me. There's people constantly asking questions that I know are covered in the Getting Started training webinars. There's constantly people asking about all kinds of things that I know they would learn if they either A, showed up here or showed up on those other webinars. And then further to that, the numbers for the Mind Over Matter webinar are almost always lower than the Getting Started webinar. And that just puts a stick in my spokes. Because it is, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the most important piece of this puzzle. But in order to identify that, you're going to need to show up and get out of your comfort zone. Because I want to say some stuff that you're not going to agree with, but you're going to need to listen, because I'm doing what you want to do and you're struggling. I don't say that to be conceited or arrogant. I say it because it's the factual information. When someone states factual information and it doesn't make you feel good, it doesn't mean that they're arrogant or conceited or any of those things. It just means that honestly, that's what it means, is that your mindset is so powerfully in the wrong direction that you will literally take a fact and make it personal. If someone's giving you their opinion and you know that it bothers you, well, that's a different story. You have your opinion and they have theirs. That's part of life. But in this specific case, if someone's making the statement of fact and it kind of pisses you off, that should be the big red flag that makes you go, oh, wait a minute. Something's wrong with my mindset. And it is, without question, that mindset that's holding you back. And there's nothing anybody can do about it other than you. I can train you out the wazoo how to run ads, how to do PPC, how to accomplish Facebook, how to work safe lists. I can train on all that. We could sit down for hours. I guarantee you won't have any success. Your mindset has to be right. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and we were talking about a method of it's a version of cold calling where you're contacting leads to try and get them to go to a presentation link of some kind. And these weren't really cold leads, because they were leads that were generated through a phone campaign, like a blast, where the people on the phone had to push a number in order to request a call back. So you're calling back a lukewarm market, we'll call it, maybe a cool market. But needless to say, their response to me was always that, oh, that's duplicatable. Then they could do. And I thought to him, I said to him, I said, well, it's duplicatable for the people that you bring in through that system. Yes. And I think that what's really, really important to understand is that every single lead or groups of leads need to be segregated based on how did they arrive at the end goal, like either sale of a product or joining a company or whatever it is. Because if they came in through these phone calls, then you can very easily turn them into phone callers because they understand how that worked, because that's how they got there. If they came in through a house party, for some MLMs it's house parties, then you're really going to want to get them doing house parties. That's how they got there. You're not going to turn that person into a phone caller. And the one thing that we talked about was that it's the understanding that those first few months yield no result. And that's a really big challenge for most people. Marketing, advertising, any of this stuff. I mean, I built a YouTube channel that went from no subscribers to 1,600 subscribers. It's generating almost 50 to 60 new subscribers every day right now. There's a video that went from 94,000 views to 106,000 views in 12 hours. It's generating, it's growing. When I create a video in that channel, it immediately gets 6 to 10 views before I can get back to the video manager and see. It has arrived at a point. But let me tell you, I did 3 months of nothing. Video after video after video, hardly any viewers, hardly any subscribers, not much going on, but you continue to hammer at it. Keywords, using as many of those great things you can to get yourself ranked and loaded into the system. Guess what? If you're prepared to go through those first 3 months of blank, and it might be 5 or 6, depending on, I mean, I was doing content almost every single day, 7 days a week. Slowed down since, but that's because it's now starting to pick up momentum, and I've been able to sort of pocket my times a little better. But unless you're prepared to go through that gap, you're never going to get there. I have a friend of mine that I talked to fairly recently about internet marketing, and he is constantly changing gears. Because just as he starts to get the hang of a certain kind of marketing and it's not producing the results that he wants, he switches. So he never ever hits that stride where momentum takes over and his marketing and advertising just goes. Any one of you could make a YouTube channel that was strictly for advertising your CPA marketing through GOF. And if you made content every single day using proper keywords, within 3 to 4, maybe 5 months, likely 3 if your content was consistent, suddenly you'll have more people than you can shake a stick at watching your videos, liking your videos, commenting on your videos, and with links placed in these videos, you're going to generate traffic. It's just how it works. But it means you got to get out of that comfort zone of living where everything happens in an instant. You know what? So many of you are familiar with Natalie, our good friend at GOF. I mean, she used to say to me that we live in a microwave world where everything needs to be done right now. So I'm going to start marketing, and by the end of the week, I better have 1,000 subscribers in my list. Well, I promise you won't, and I also promise you'll probably quit. Because you think that you should have 1,000 subscribers in your list by the end of the week. But that's because you see people like myself or Natalie or Alec or Paul, and we're generating all kinds of crazy leads. And guess what? We also went through that first week where we generated 1 lead. But we stuck to it, and now we can generate as many leads as we want in a week, ultimately. But it's that comfort zone of skill set that we're not willing to expand upon. Somebody talked in the Facebook group yesterday about a lot of stuff happened yesterday apparently, but about how their Facebook group dried up. Their Facebook marketing dried up. It went from doing really really well to zero, no sales, no nothing. I guess some people joined the list, but that's it. And they were just like, well, what do I do now? Join more groups, change your ads, expand, constantly be building another ad for the next time it dries up. Marketing and advertising is cyclical. And an ad that you're using right now may not work 2 months from now, but it might work again in a year. The 3,000 people that are in that group that you're working with on Facebook, number one, half of them never ever go to the group, if not higher. Might be 75% of them never go to the group.